And in our top business story, the IMF has called on Arabian Gulf governments to cut total public spending in response to lower oil prices, as it again downgraded its growth forecast for the UAE. According to the fund's chief economist, GCC members must moderate the pace of spending in the medium term to save resources for future generations and achieve a sustainable fiscal situation. This is the first time since last year's oil price fall that the IMF has called on GCC members to reduce total planned expenditure and represent a strengthening of the IMF's language on Gulf spending. As recently as January, the IMF warned Gulf states not to react to falling oil prices in a knee-jerk way by cutting economic activity and government spending. The IMF also cut its projections for the UAE's growth this year to 3.2%, a decrease of 0.3 percentage points against its January forecast. This is the second time in 6 months that the IMF has revised its growth forecast for the UAE downwards. In October, the IMF projected growth of 4.5%, a rate that is 1.3 percentage points higher than its current projection. The wider Middle East economic growth forecast has also been cut twice in the same period. The UAE has retained its ranking among the world's top exporters, according to the World Trade Organization's report on international trade trends. The report released recently in Geneva shows that UAE ranks 16th among global exporters and is the #1 market for merchandise exports in the MENA region. In imports, it ranks 19th and is the most important market for merchandise imports in MENA. The WTA report stated that the UAE's merchandise exports reached $359 billion, which is 1.9% of the total world exports, while imports grew by 4% and accounted for 1.4% of the total world exports. Regionally, the UAE accounted for 28% of the Middle East merchandise exports and 33% of imports during 2014. The report showed that global trade saw modest growth of 2.4% during 2014 and projected growth to reach 3.3% during 2015 and 4% during 2016. Following the start of its full operations, the trade volumes at Dubai World Central, together with Jebel Ali Free Zone Authority and DP World, are expected to contribute 50% towards Dubai's GDP by 2025. That's according to His Excellency Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, chairman of DP World, during his keynote address at the ongoing Region Africa Middle East 2015 conference. His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, president of Dubai Civil Aviation Authority and chairman and chief executive of the Emirates Group, officially opened the 15th edition of RAMI 2015 conference, which is being held in Dubai for the third time. The two-day conference, which is part of the International Federation of Freight Forwarders Association, FIATA, has attracted over 500 senior officials of freight organizations from Africa, Middle East and South Asia. Speaking during the keynote address, the chairman of DP World highlighted the importance of Dubai as a global logistics hub due to its strategic location and the opportunity that will arise following the completion of Dubai World Central, which will offer 12 million tons of cargo capacity. While sharing their expertise with attending delegates, panelists from Dubai's logistic and free zone entities highlighted that Dubai's success was largely attributed to its global connectivity, legal framework and political stability. Commenting on the future trends, the representative from DP World added that the Emirate is expected to play a major role in the development of Africa and South Asian trade corridors.
The corridor is already in function and it's working very well. What we need right now is really to make people aware and the trading sector aware, whether it's in Africa, India, subcontinent India, and the traders around us, that corridor is there and it's functional and it's working and it's very efficient. I mean, today we can move any container which comes through the port in 40 minutes. It's in the airport, and provided the plane is there, it can fly whenever it has to. So it's just a matter of really making it now aware to everybody that in the sector, in the supply chain sector, that the corridor exists and it's very efficient. So it's really a unique, doesn't exist anywhere in the world. I mean, you have Dubai is the only one where you have the port, the free zone, the economic zone, and you have the airport all together in one cluster and logistics city in one cluster. And that really is a platform for growth and for opening up opportunities for that. That's why I think that's where Mr. Sulayem has really indicated that it is going to contribute, that cluster is going to contribute to the GDP growth of Dubai.
Among the top discussions held during the conference was the importance of soft infrastructure, which entails the political and economic climate coupled with innovation for developing the freight industry. According to the president of FIATA, there is an emerging economic shift from EMEA countries towards Middle East, North Africa and South Asian countries. It was added that the conference will allow the emerging economies to learn from Dubai's experience and aim to create a favorable climate for economic development.
Thank you. It's a matter of soft infrastructure, government and governance of infrastructure itself. Well, what can be done? I think, meetings like this one are extremely important. We have noticed people from different regions in the world to intervene and ask questions to the very high-level government managers that have been having their speeches. And I think this is the most important thing: exchange experience, learn from each other. And this is actually the strength of FIATA, getting people together, networking and learning from each other.
A new survey has revealed that 54% of Emiratis who want to own a new flat or villa prefer a cash or cheque payment when buying a piece of property in the UAE. In comparison, only a small proportion of non-Emirati buyers can produce cash or cheque outright for a property payment, including 27% of Westerners, 37% of Arab expats and 39% of Asians. According to YouGov, who conducted the study, this highlights continued confidence in the local real estate market, with 3/4 of first-time buyers preferring to purchase properties in the country. YouGov survey also found that most of the investors who cash in on the UAE's realty boom are mature individuals, saying that about 8 in 10 of the property owners are more likely to be over 50 years old. There is also more emphasis on the location, with 51% of the 308 respondents saying properties near retail shopping malls are the most attractive and in demand, followed by those close to the public parks, beaches and mosques.